Hello fellow creatures and wild things, I am Cheyenne or Earthy Arts and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you all the art that I created over this past semester in art school. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the video and show you guys what I have made. Okay, so the first class this semester was my 3D art. This was probably my favorite throughout the entirety of just college in general. Like, it was very fun. It felt more like craft time rather than an actual art class because I don't really take 3D stuff as seriously as I do with my 2D stuff. And I just found it really fun to just kind of relax and just create stuff, even though it was not relaxing in the slightest, and I ended up staying up many nights doing stuff, but it was still more enjoyable than what I usually do. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the first assignment, which was a wire sculpture. Here's the concept sketch of it. I wanted to do two different birds, a raven and a red-tailed hawk, flying together with this piece of bone that I have, and it didn't end up going as planned because I ran out of time and was only able to do one bird, so I ended up doing the raven up here. But if I did have more time, I probably would make another bird, but I really hated the wire that we worked with, so that is probably never going to happen. Okay, so here's the sculpture. I'm going to zoom out in a second, but let me just show you the wire real quick. This stuff is absolutely thick. Like, we had to use pliers to bend it, and yeah, it was just way too difficult to try and make all these shapes that I'm probably never going to do this again. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's supposed to kind of hang from, like, this part of the tail, but this is what it looks like from just laying it on a table. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Again, would never do it, ever. If I had the opportunity to do it, I may do it with a smaller wire, but with this stuff, no. And this wire actually leaves, like, residue on your fingers, too, which is, like, really annoying. And it was just not fun to work with at all. But I do like the artwork, so that's a plus, I guess. And this sculpture was actually based off of two birds that I saw in my backyard, a raven and a red-tailed hawk that were flying together. They were like chasing each other and everything, and it was a nice memory, so I thought I'd make an artwork off of it. Okay, so for the next artwork, I didn't really have concept sketches, really. I was just kind of going with it. It was a cardboard sculpture assignment, and I ended up making a video of this, the progress, as well, but I am very happy with this piece. It is a three-faced coyote, and it is a wearable mask. It has a felted inside so that it's nice and soft if you were to wear it, and I have tried it on before, and it's very nice. The straps don't really work that well, and they're kind of temporary at the moment, because I didn't really have, like, elastic bands, but I am very happy with the illusion and how it came out, how if you were to, like, just look at one side, look like that, look at the front, then look at the other side, how the eyes just kind of look like they're connected to everything. I don't know, I just really like it, and it's a very cool piece. I ended up doing, like, a photo shoot in the woods with it, and I'm just overall very happy with this piece. And I do eventually want to add ears to that piece because it looks kind of funky without ears, but I don't really know when I'm going to have time to do that, so we'll just see, I guess. Okay, so the next artwork that we did in this class was a miniatures assignment. So this is basically the concept sketch, the idea of what I wanted to do. I wanted this, like, little cottagecore kitchen idea, I guess, and I wanted this little tiny fox person with an apron, like, baking some bread in the middle, just kind of standing behind the island. But I didn't really have time for that. I just ended up doing this whole, like, I don't know, kitchen look, I guess. And since it was a miniatures assignment, I used a box for, like, the exterior thing, and then just kind of made my way on the inside. This was probably the most difficult assignment out of everything because I was so indecisive with colors that I ended up going over it like 3 or 4 different times with different colors, and you can tell because the wood, the popsicle sticks are very coated in paint and everything, and it's, I don't know. If I were to redo it, I would have kind of chosen colors to start off with before just kind of winging it, but you know, it's too late now. I really like this middle piece right here, the little island with the toast and jelly, and then the little bread that somebody's making, which could be assumed to be the fox. And I also have these little hanging mugs right here. And this little curtain in the window is very cute, and I love it so much. It's actually made out of like scrap material from my prom dress, because the dress came inside of like a tulle sack, so I decided to use the sack itself for like window curtains. And I love these donuts too, they're so cute. I don't know, I just love this piece a lot, it's adorable. Yeah, for this sculpture I ended up staying up until midnight the day before it was due. And yeah, another thing with deadlines I'm not good with. And then the last project for this class was to create, I don't know, like an art market thing. The prompt was ready for the market, so I just kind of went with that. Literally, I was trying to make like an art market booth, but didn't have time, so I just kind of made with like an online shop, like box, I guess, box of goodies. So I was wanting to make a bunch of like clay pins and stuff, which I did end up doing, and I love them so much. They're so cute. This is the box that everything came in. I have this little part right here, which is actually a linoleum stamp that I made. Here it is. And then whenever you open it, it has a little thank you right here, another stamp that I made. And on the other side, it says mystery pack, just because I had a bunch of random crap in here, and it was just a way to kind of bring it all together, I guess. Then on the inside I ended up including this little thank you card design that I made. And this is all basically an idea of just brainstorming of what my shop could look like, because I do want to open up a shop eventually. So yeah, that's just an idea of what like the thank you cards could be like, I guess. But now to the goodies that were inside the box. Here they are. All of them. Well, not all of them. That's not it. So basically these are the pins that I ended up making, because I made a lot of them due to the fact that I thought I was doing an art market booth at first, but I didn't have time, so I did end up making a whole lot of stuff. So here's the first one. It is a little sunflower seed pin. It has these little worms on the outside, and our printer doesn't do double-sided, so we had to figure out how to do that. And the color is not exactly right, but you know, it's good, makeshift. It worked for the assignment. If I were to redo it, I'd probably print my stuff like elsewhere, I guess. So yeah, there's a little sunflower seed design. There's a little woodpecker design. And all of them have like little fun facts on the back too, because I just love when there's just a bunch of random facts for stuff, because I don't know, I like that stuff. It's fun. Another one is the Carolina Wren. These ones are my favorites out of all of them. They're just so round and adorable. They also have fun fact. Their papers are getting a bit bent sitting in this container, but here's one of the cardinal birds. Pretty fun. He's sitting on a fence. But I had one of each of these in the little box, as well as this artwork that I created last year around this time, I guess. It's a little woodpecker. Very cute. I was just trying to find stuff to put in there because I didn't have time to make anything else, because I ran out of time. And then I also included a whole lot of like vinyl stickers. I included this design, which was supposed to have a red circle around it with like a X on it or whatever, but I didn't have time to do that, so I did not. And this one has the mask on it so that you're able to like peel it off and stick it on something. But that one does not. I'd have to put mask on it again. And then yeah, that's all that was in that box. Okay, so now we're gonna go over my digital art stuff. This stuff was pretty fun to do, although I didn't really realize I was in a digital art class until we got our first assignment. I'm just gonna put my little face off to the side and show you guys some of the artwork I made. So this first one was like a, I don't know, political art-ish thing, I guess. And I ended up doing a poster of a polar bear standing on like ice, I guess, because you always see pictures of polar bears, like skinny polar bears on ice and everything. And I wanted to go with this idea that people only care about the well-known endangered animals rather than the other ones. And the thing that solidifies this fact is that I don't remember any of these extinct animals that I put here. All that I know is the polar bear. So that solidifies the fact that we only know about the popular ones. Because I researched this for the project and I absolutely forgot about everything else. So, and one of the things is a snail with a question mark. I ended up including that because there was a snail that went extinct last year, and these are all animals that went extinct last year. But there was a snail, there were no pictures of it because it went extinct, well, it was endangered for a long time, and nobody really got pictures of it. But also for the fact that it has this mystery of like what could be next, like a snail, what animal, you know, kind of thing, I guess. But there's like a woodpecker there, some different fish, frogs and stuff, and I don't know, I like the simplicity of it. I feel like it would look better as a vector image rather than like a Photoshop artwork, and I'd actually be able to do something with it, but I don't know, I may remake it into like Illustrator or something, but I like it. I like the colors and everything, it's nice, the meaning's pretty good. I may have accidentally. Okay, so fun fact, I accidentally deleted everything because I thought that if I deleted it off my downloads folder, it wouldn't delete off Photoshop. I was wrong. It ended up deleting a lot of my stuff that I did this semester, so I have learned my lesson. Do not delete stuff off the downloads folder because it will delete it off Photoshop. So I think this is the only thing that I have for my first project, even though I completely redid it and made it look not necessarily better, but I made it look more clean, I guess. But this was actually a sketch from my sketchbook, and I wanted to, like, digitize it, I guess, and I like the idea. I didn't really like how it turned out, because that was, like, my first project. I don't really do digital art that often, but it's a good idea, I guess. I'm just gonna move on to the next one, because there's not really much to say about it. Oh, one other thing. It was based off of some text from Women Who Run with the Wolves, because that's one of my favorite books. I have it on my shelf up there. I don't remember what the text was. I will put it on the screen if I end up finding out what it was, because I think I have it written in my sketchbook somewhere. But yeah, I'll just put it on the screen. Okay, next one. Next thing we did was a poster based off of like a certain time period, a decade. We were supposed to go from like the 60s onward, but I was like, you know what, I kind of want to do the 40s kind of a little bit, so he allowed me to do that, so I ended up doing the 40s. So I created like this little travel poster, I guess, because like you see a lot of those like vintage travel posters, I guess, with like the really simple style and the cool text and everything, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that because it looks cool. So I did, and I did the Great Smoky Mountains, and that was actually part of my 31-day challenge thing, which is now just a 31 prompt for me because it is 2 months past when I started. So yeah, that was one of the artworks that I ended up doing for that, but I'm probably going to redo it traditionally because, I don't know, I just like doing stuff traditionally. Not really much to say about this one. It's very cool looking. I like the grain. I learned how to do that. That was pretty fun. Along with accidentally deleting everything, I spent 2 class periods working on this project with a more detailed picture, and it deleted itself. So that's lovely. I've learned my lesson. So I ended up doing this in 1 class block, which is like 2.5 hours, I guess, because it's from like 9 to 11:25, because it was due that day, and I didn't have anything because I deleted everything. Yeah. I think what I have next is the last artwork, the final. So we had like a month to do that, which was pretty nice because it ended up taking a while, but I ended up doing everything like 2 nights before because I didn't realize when it was due. I have a problem with deadlines. I really do. So we were supposed to create a comic that represented time, so I wanted to go with my characters and how their like relationship with one another evolved over time. So I have in the first panel like a picture of them as kids running through a field, because like their lore behind the characters is that they met in the woods, I guess, and one of them's like a princess, another one was like an orphan because her family was killed by like a rampage in their village, I guess. I don't know, it's a lot to explain, so I'm not going to unless people want me to. This character that was like the princess, I guess, she ended up burning down her family's house on accident and accidentally killing her entire family. And she kind of blames herself for that, and also blames herself for losing touch with this friend that she had. And so I have her like waking up from a nightmare where like the background is burning behind her best friend. But she has blood on her hands because she blames herself, and then there's like a little drawing that they did that says the new king and queen forever, and it's both of them holding hands with like a little sun in it. I just find it very cute. Yeah, this ended up taking forever to do. The lighting was very fun because these look very different without the lighting layers. Like, it looks like a completely different comic. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It took a long time. The line art itself was probably the longest. And then also I don't know if there's a fill bucket on Photoshop, so I ended up coloring everything individually, so I probably should have figured that out. That would have been helpful. So I guess that's all that I have for the art that I did this semester. Thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video. If you want to see more from me, I have all of my socials down in the description, or you could subscribe here, find some more of my videos. Over on Instagram, I post pictures of my art. If you're interested in seeing more of my art rather than me talking to a camera, you can go over there. Feel free to follow me. But until next time, I will see you guys later, and stay creative, my wild children. Bye guys.